No, I'll do it.
Welcome to Time to Talk. I'm Argie Holliman, and we're glad that you could join us once again today. And today is Wednesday, October 24th, 2018. We're moving right along in the year. The year is actually moving along pretty fast. Beautiful fall day today. Today, I'm welcoming as my guest Kim R. Harris. Kim wears many hats. She's an actress, an activist, a writer, a mother, a grandmother, and also she has been on the Oprah show. Well, it wasn't the Oprah show exactly. It was actually Oprah's debut on 60 Minutes. And this was for a political panel. And Kim is going to tell us all about her experience with that. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you so very much for having me today. I really appreciate it. You know, that was one day to really remember. Actually, it started out that I was on Facebook and I had the opportunity to answer a survey. And this survey was geared towards President Trump, making America great again. And so I made the decision to put my 2 cents in and give my perspective in regards to how I felt about America being made great again. And so I got a call after making my responses from Washington, D.C. in regards to my answers to that survey. And I thought, you know, who was calling me from Washington, D.C.? And it happened to be Frank Lance's representatives that were calling to find out about my perspectives surrounding America being made great again. And so I said, yes, you know, those are the questions that I answer, and those were the things that I meant in regards to my perspective. And so they told me that they were actually going to have a focus group that was going to be meeting in the Grand Rapids area, and was I available?
And you're from Zeeland.
And I'm from
Zeeland, our neighbor.
Yeah, well, you know, I did a lot of work in Grand Rapids, so I thought, you know, I can get up to Grand Rapids if you're going to do a focus group, and if it's going to be based on a political issue, that's something that I can also be involved in, seeing that I'm political. And I thought, you know, this is going to be a little something that I'll do, and I thought nothing of it. So I was taking my mom to New York at the time for her 70th birthday.
Oh, wonderful.
That's what I was focused on. I wasn't focused on, you know, so much this focus group, because it was a few months out still.
Okay.
But they told me.
Now, this is in 2017, at least the first one.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
It was in 2017. They told me that they had several people that they were looking at, and that it wasn't, you know, for sure if they were going to have me, but they will let me know. I'll get an email. So I thought nothing else of it.
Okay.
So I went on my trip, came back. We were gone for about a week or so. Came back. I came back a day early before my mom, and her and my sister stayed an extra day. And so I was at her house, and I got an email. And the email basically was saying congratulations, that, you know, that they wanted to have me to be a part of the focus group, and kind of gave me the details of what was, you know.
We want our viewers to know, as we're going to continue and find out more about how the focus group was put together, but we want our viewers to know we're live, and when we're live, you can give us a call at 616-459-4881 if you have a question for Kim R. Harris about being a part of this political panel that Oprah actually facilitated. And isn't it something? We don't have to say her last name or anything. Just say
That's right.
Oprah. Just say Oprah. And so they said, congratulations, you're going to be a part of this panel.
Yes.
And then what else?
Basically, it just kind of stipulated what the date and time was and where it was going to be located, and that I needed to stay committed to it. And so I thought, yeah, I'll do that. Again, I was kind of brushing it off because it basically told me that it was going to be a local political figure that was going to facilitate this piece, and it's basically going to be talking about America being made great again. So I thought, okay, so I'll just go in. My mindset was, I'll just go in, I'll say what I have to say to scoot on out of there. That's how I was looking at that. And so when it came down to the date of going, that's what I told my son. I said, hey, I'm going down to Grand Rapids. I'm only going to be there a little while. I got to do this piece. I made a commitment to it. I'm going to go in. I'm going to talk about what I feel, is right concerning political issues surrounding America, and I'm going to come out.
Okay.
Well, it wound up being hours.
Okay.
It wound up
It was
being,
about 4 hours, right?
It was longer than that.
It was longer than that.
Yes. It
Okay.
was probably like 7 hours.
Oh,
or
7
so.
hours. Wow.
My son is outside. I don't have my phone. My phone is downstairs, and we're up there having this long conversation and debating, and I completely was like, oh my gosh, I can't get up. I can't let my son know that this is what's happening. But this is the huge part of it. We do a little piece as an exercise of what was going to happen in regards to the filming. And so they made a choice of the people that they wanted to stay behind, because there were some people that were relieved from the choice of being a part of the panel.
Okay.
But it was my, concept that maybe these people are going to come back in. I didn't know that they were let go. They're going to come back in, and they're going to do like pieces. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. So we're thinking it's someone local coming there, miking us up, putting makeup on us, and we're sitting there and getting ready for this, conversation. And in come Oprah. People are hollering and screaming and crying and
Oh, wow.
yes.
Big surprise.
They're completely devastated.
Shocked.
The men eyes are real big. People's mouths are wide open.
Yeah. Oh, my.
And they're like, oh my goodness. And she's like, oh. So she's really herself. She really is herself. She's really a genuine, nice person, really giving and everything. And she comes in and she's like, this is my debut.
For 60
For
minutes.
60 minutes. And
Okay.
we're
So
talking-
you didn't know you were on 60 Minutes?
No,
You didn't know
not
it
at
was
all.
Oprah's debut.
Not at all.
And it was the 50th anniversary of 60
Huge.
Minutes.
Very
So this is big.
huge.
Everybody in the world is watching.
Everyone in the world is watching. It is 60 minutes. And like you said, it's their 50th anniversary. And I am a part of that
Wow.
history.
Amazing.
And then we have Oprah on top of that.
Right,
And
right.
this is her debut. Oh, I was like ecstatic. I said, this is not happening. I was like, what is she doing here?
How good can it get?
That
I know
was-
you wish you had your phone so you could call your son. Oh, Oprah's up here. I can't come down right now.
I know. I thought, oh my goodness. And it took a little while for people to kind of
Calm down.
And so she let people, get their little excitement out. And she called us all by our name.
Okay.
She knew each and every one of us. But, they had set us in, specific places and everything. And she remembered everybody's name. And everyone was shocked and thrown back
Okay.
by it because she knew their name. And I'm like, how does she know her? She was like, well, because she had a process that, she was a part of choosing everyone that was going to be a part of it.
Okay, so you were handpicked by
I was
Oprah.
handpicked. I was
Okay,
handpicked.
you were
So that was-
handpicked by Oprah.
Yes.
Ah, what a blessing.
It was a blessing.
What a blessing.
It is a day to remember. I mean, you know.
I can imagine.
Yeah, so I wanted to put on my best self, and I wanted to be really honest about whatever questions they asked me. I wanted to give my true feelings about how I felt about it. So I was just like, this is my only one opportunity is what you
Got to make this good. Got to make this good.
Yes.
What was the makeup like? Male, female, race, political status. Now you had 7. It was 14 people
It
when
was
you got
14,
down
yep.
to it. Now there were 7 Democrats and 7 Republicans.
Yes, it was.
And then what's the rest of the
And
makeup?
so the makeup-
in age-wise.
Yes, so there was one African American woman, which is myself, and one African American male, and then the rest of the group was Caucasian. Besides one woman, she was Asian. One woman was Asian. And there was, I think the ages were like 30 and up. 30 and up. I'm 53, so I think it was like 30 and up to like 60, because the Asian woman was probably in her 60s.
And are you a Democrat or a Republican?
Well,
Or a Trump supporter or non-supporter?
well, I like to, normally I don't just come out and talk about what I represent. I think people pretty much know that, but I am a Democrat. I don't like to be considered a liberal, because there are some times when I feel that there is issues that's more important to me that maybe the Republicans are actually talking about that I agree with, but I am a Democrat. So, yes.
We want our viewers to know that you can give us a call. We're talking to Kim R.
Yes.
Harris, who had the honor of being on a political panel, which Oprah facilitated right here in Grand Rapids. So if you have questions about that, give us a call, 616-459-4881. So how did it start? What were the ground rules? What did Oprah say?
So basically, the ground rules were that we were going to respect one another's conversation, and that she really was focusing in on finding common ground amongst us. She did not really explain in her conversations how she felt. She did exactly what she said she was going to do. She facilitated the questions and she listened, but she never gave her own perspective. And so basically, the ground rules was just to respect each other, and that we were going to have this conversation. We wasn't going to be able to move, and if you need to do something, that you needed to do it right then and there before you got mic'd up, and it was just basically that. She just said that she was going to ask questions surrounding America and some of the issues that America is facing, and that was the gist of it. And so, but it wound up being she said it's going to be like a few hours of questions. So basically, like any other casting, you do a whole movie and you cut some parts out. So basically, that's how that went.
Did they feed you?
Well, she took everyone out. Well, I have to be honest about this.
Okay.
So the questions and the answers were really intense. Okay, because there were people of a different party than mine that was really adamant and rude about some of the things that they were saying, and those things were cut out. So you don't, the person that is looking at the actual segment don't know that there was a lot of intense and going backwards and forwards with some of the, panelists. And so at the end, she did say, I want to take everyone out. And we were going to go to founders at first, but then they changed it and decided to go over to 27 sickness. 20, is it sickness 27 or 7? Yeah.
Sickness.
So they went over to sickness. And I was so angry, and I do have to be very honest. My head was hurting. I had a headache. And, you know, we had a lot of conversation based on African Americans coming to the table, having that opportunity to be able to talk about the disenfranchised and those that were disproportionately enfranchised, you know, and you know, those were some sensitive conversations that we were having, because in some of their eyes, they felt like that was already something that was happening. And I said, no, the voice of African Americans is not at all of the tables, and there need to be a voice so that people can be represented that are left out. So we were having, you know, questions like that, and, you know, is there freedom and liberty and justice for all in America? And some of our counterparts thought, yes, for everyone. And I thought, no, that's not true. So, you know, there is not freedom and liberty and justice for all mankind. There are people, not just of color, but brown, that does not have the, you know, the ability to have safe homes, that don't have the ability to have a good education and a job that pays them well, and, you know, and the adequate things that they need in order for them to be sufficient. All of those things were conversations that we were having, and there, like I said, there were people that had different perspectives than that, and I thought, wow, you know, because I am here to say that there is statistics out there that shows that the minorities in the United States are disenfranchised and does not have the opportunity to have the freedom and the liberties that you're talking about.
That must have been a heavy weight on your shoulders, because you were the only African American female in the room, and to bring to the table kind of what most of African Americans are experiencing and have experienced. And some people have never heard that and never understood that, and still don't understand that. And did you find that this was really important, because at least it brought people together, even though people had very different viewpoints, but at least they were talking?
Certainly, I do, at some points I do, because it gives people the opportunity to have a listening session. You know, a lot of times that's cultural competency piece is not there for people, and you have to be really intentional about being culturally competent about any culture. And if you really want to know what some of the woes are, or what some of the successes are, or even what the food tastes like, or even the community, what that consists of, or how people dress, or what their religious, you know, perspectives are. If you don't have that, then you already have, you know, a perception of what that is about, because you listen to some of the, you know, stereotypical things that are out there, and you really don't know, because it's not a first-hand experience.
Yeah, so if you're just watching TV,
so
you're not getting a true perspective. And if you're just talking to people who only think like you and look like you, then that's a limited experience as well.
Certainly. So I think it did give people the opportunity to hear and see that, oh, well, maybe I didn't realize that there wasn't freedom and liberty and justice for all, because I thought that was like, I know that there are some things that happen, and there is poor people in our countries, in our communities, but I didn't realize that they didn't really have a choice, or they don't have the real opportunities, because I really didn't experience it. So for me to be able to be a voice was important for me, and I think it was my social responsibility to make sure that I speak that, because it was my only opportunity to say that. When you're given the platform, that you need to be able to say what you feel and what you know to be true. And that's something that I've known.
We're talking to Kim R. Harris, who was on the panel. It was a 60 Minutes panel with Oprah.
Yes.
And they were talking about, well, the title was A Nation Divided.
Yes.
Yes. And a group of 14 people from West Michigan came together and dialogued about Trump's statement of making America great again. How do you feel about that statement?
Oh, I thought America was never made great, because if it was, then we all would have a fair share in the wealth of the American dream or a piece of the pie. I do believe that we have come a very long way. But I wanted to be a part of that conversation, like I said, just to give my perspective in regards to where I believe we are and where we need to be as a people. So that's why I answered the survey. I was like, oh, I need to say something about this because this is like right down my alley. Let me just put this out there about what I feel about that.
You had no idea where it would lead.
I did not.
Okay.
I really did not. But I think that it was a legitimate, topic to have, seeing that there were so many things that was happening in the 100 days that he had been president.
At that particular time.
And then also with the great divide that was happening all across the nation. And, there was a lot of killings that was happening with African Americans. Then you had all of this, people that were like kind of taunting, other minorities because they believed that they had some voice that was speaking what they really had been wanting to say for a long time, and he was the leader of the free world, and it was just causing a ruckus everywhere. You had people being assaulted at some of his rallies, and I had never seen anything like that in the history of America. I mean, everything that I know, I had never seen a president to act or perform in the way that he had. And I said, yeah, America is divided because we have this loose cannon. I mean, those were my words. I'm only being very truthful about it. That is the President of the United States of America. And so I basically am baffled still about some of the behavior in regards to where we are in America. And there is still somewhat of a great divide in regards to our perspective surrounding where we are as an American people.
We have a picture of you with Oprah.
Do you?
Yeah, we get around. And we have a picture of you with Oprah, and we also have a video of you regarding the political roundtable. Yeah, the political roundtable. So we're going to put that up. In the meantime, we want people to know that you're watching Time to Talk, and you can watch us every second and fourth Wednesday of the month, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on GRTV, and then you can see a rebroadcast of it for our friends in Wyoming, Kentwood, and Gaines Township. You can see it on the next Wednesday, the following Wednesday.
Awesome.
So there you are.
Oh, wow.
With Miss O. Okay, where
Yes.
were you?
Okay, so we were actually at the Vintage here in Grand Rapids, and this was after we had did our segment and had been there for hours. And I believe that you showed this right here is the second segment here. We took a lot of pictures. I had a lot of pictures with her, and she was just like such a sweet, warm, and inviting person. And she wanted to take pictures because she was like, hey, throwing her hair back, and just being real. And I think I probably got like 15, 20 pictures or so with her.
My.
And some of them I don't have up. Yeah, those are from the second segment. I didn't see the first segment, but look at her. She looks so wonderful.
Look at her.
Yeah.
She looks really happy to be in Grand Rapids.
I know. I had someone say, are you guys like really good friends? Because I see that you guys have a lot of pictures, and the ones that she's with you seem like you guys are close. I said, I'm her soul sister.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about you and your soul sister, Oprah, and a little bit more about the things that you're involved in, because there's so many. So you're watching Time to Talk, and we'll be right back.
Internet, GRTV.
I'm excited to announce that the Healthy Body, Healthy Mind 5K will take place Saturday, September 22nd at Riverside Park in Grand Rapids. Hosted by Mind Meets Music, this 5K walk and run is free for families in the Grand Rapids area. Mind Meets Music reaches approximately 5,000 underserved kids in over 30 Kent County schools, using musical interventions to enhance brain development and help improve math, literacy, and other important skills. While the program's main focus is academic achievement and social-emotional learning, we believe it is important to nurture the development of the whole child.
Welcome back to Time to Talk. You can watch Time to Talk every second and fourth Wednesday on GRTV. Comcast Cable 25. We're talking to Kim R. Harris, who was a part of Oprah's political panel, which was her debut show on 60 Minutes last year, 2017. And it was a political panel. Kim answered a question. It was just out there on Facebook. She didn't know where it was coming, didn't know it was coming from Oprah or CBS or anything. And it was talking about the Trump presidency and also making America great. We keep hearing that quote.
Yeah.
What does that mean? And anyway, so Kim answered that and then wound up on a political panel right here in Grand Rapids with Oprah. So things got pretty heated at that panel, didn't they?
Yeah, it did. It did. It really did. And when you asked me earlier about did you guys go out and eat, I didn't get a chance to say, but I wanted to say this, that I refused to go. I told Oprah, I said, you know what, I am not going to go and eat with you all today, because I was a little bit upset, and I had a headache, and it had been a long day, and I thought, you know what, I've drained myself with some of the conversation, and I think it's going to be better for me to just go back. So she said, "You're not coming?" And I was like, "No, I'm going to pass." And she was like, "Okay." She said, "Where you live?" I said, "In Zeeland." She said, "Zeeland? Where is that?" I said, "It's right next to Holland." She was like, "Oh, I don't know where that's at." I said, "Well, you need to come to Zeeland."
Okay.
But making America great again, it holds a huge responsibility, and especially for those that are held to the higher standard of care. And when you look at the presidency, that's what you look at. That person should be held at the highest standard of care. And so I don't believe that America could be made great again by continually dividing America. So Oprah asked me, "Who did you vote for?" And I said, I did not vote for Clinton or for Trump. I wrote myself into the ballot.
You wrote yourself into
Yes.
the ballot.
Yes.
Okay. You said you were the best person for the job.
I wrote myself in the ballot because it was a protest vote. And that's what I did. And she said, "Kim wrote herself into the ballot to become president." And I thought it was cute, but she understood where I was coming from. I got a glance at her, and she winked her eye at me to let her, to let me know I understand where you're coming from.
Right.
And so, but I basically thought, I'm not voting for Clinton, and I'm not voting for Trump. I am going to write myself in, and I believe that I'm the best candidate at this time because this is a protest vote. And that is, I voted for, all of the local candidates, but I did not vote for either candidate for the presidency.
Well, at least you went to the polls.
Oh, certainly.
And we want to encourage people this election, 2018,
Yes.
go to the polls.
Yes.
Vote November 6th, 2018.
Yes.
Whoever you voting for, if you putting your own name in there.
Yes.
Like Kim or Harris. Go on and do it. You have a right to do it.
Certainly.
Actually.
Well, why would I vote for someone who looked at us as predators? I'm not an animal. My people are not animals. I just have some real hard, feelings about the majority of our African Americans that's up underneath the Clinton's administration's, laws that were passed, 3 strikes you out, or, massive incarceration. That's all because of the Clintons. And so there's a whole lot of reasons why I did not vote for my own party. And it's because of, my feelings about, some of the history of the Clintons. And so I decided, no, we already have this huge situation with all of the emails, and it's just enough is enough. We need to really have someone in there that's worthy for the cause. And I wasn't going to vote for the less evil. I said, I'll put myself in there.
Okay.
I'll put myself in there. And,
all right. So being on that panel, did you get any backlash or any threats or
you know what?
negative comments?
No, I didn't. But other people, I won't say who they were, other people did. They did get some really harsh negative feedback and some threats, but I did not get any negative feedback.
Why do you think that was?
I don't know. I think basically.
Not that we want that to happen.
Well, it is
but it's just surprising that it didn't.
Oh yeah, but I think it's my perspective that people get so overly involved in, the political arena where they bashing, individuals. They're not respecting them as human beings. They're being called liberals. They're being called the right, the left, and no one is really respecting each other in regards to their decisions when they, make a choice on who they're going to support. But there was some serious concerns surrounding some of the things that took place. with some of the people that was on the panel in regards to some of their responses. And yeah, so I did not want that to happen to anyone, even if we were in disagreement, but we actually became friends after a certain length of time of getting to know one another and getting past some of the comments.
So you stayed in contact.
So we
after
stayed in contact.
The group was over.
So
and then the group came back just this year, 2018.
Yes. Well, what happened?
With Oprah again.
With Oprah again. What happened was there was one individual who decided that we'll do a group, a secret kind of group discussion amongst one another to get to know one another and to try to build some rapport with one another, because our goal was, what do we do with this information and this conversation that we have had on the first segment? What do we do with it as a group, and how do we impact our communities? So we, on a daily basis, began to have conversations in this particular group. And it began to be not only conversations, but meetings with one another, having lunch, having dinner, coming to each other's home, and really getting to have that cultural competency piece be, a magnetism piece that was actually in reality, and it was actually working. So then we began to really understand one another a little bit better and understand people's perspectives and why they believe the way that they believe. And then people were, being kind of cordial to one another, because it wasn't like that in the beginning, because my mom said to me, who do not go to dinner with Oprah?
Wow.
I said me.
Okay. So you had to be pretty impacted by that day not to go to dinner with Oprah.
Yes. I was, it was two of us that didn't go.
Okay.
And
you had enough of those people that day.
Exactly. That day, she even believed that we would never come together. That it was that bad that we would never come together and have any type of collaboration with each other or networking or to do anything in our community. She did not believe that that was going to happen.
What happened at the second meeting?
Well, she came back because she found out that we were meeting. We were talking to one another. We came together and did a community.
So she wanted to follow up.
She wanted to follow
on that.
Up. Yes.
See what was going on.
Yes.
Are there plans for her to come back?
Well, there are some that believe that it's a possibility that there will be a third, but we don't have, an answer about if that's going to actually happen.
Okay. Now, if you don't go to dinner the next time, I'll take your break.
Oh, well, I did go the second time. I went the second segment, I did go to dinner because then we knew one another.
Yeah.
The first one, I did not want to be in the same room.
And don't you think that that's a part of the problem, is people don't know one another? They don't have to agree, but also they don't know one another. So if you think like this, not got all these lists of things that you must be.
Yes.
If you don't agree with me.
Yes.
Or if you wear this label, Republican,
yes,
Democrat, liberal, whatever.
Yes. I think that this was like a cosmic and an example of what the world could be like if we got to know one another on a more personal level, eating together, having, coming together and having an idea of how we can impact our community together, going to one another's home and inviting you to actually be there and have the trust that everything is going to be okay. I mean, literally taking a shower. Oh, we don't want you to go all the way back to Zealand. You can take a shower here. We're going to eat here. We're going to do all of this stuff because we have to be back by a certain time. It got like that. So we all became a little bit closer.
You became friends.
We became friends. And that is what I believe that really impacted their decision to come back, because it was like, out of all people that she said that she had talked with, she did never think that we will come together like that.
Wow, amazing. Let's look at your video.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Okay, let's bring that back,
yes.
please. We're talking to Kim R. Harris.
Oh, this is from the first segment.
This is from the first time?
That's from the first segment, yes.
Okay. And it has audio too, or is this just a picture?
No, that have audio.
Oh, it
That's a
has
video.
audio. So we want to get the audio. We want to hear what you're saying.
So we were all completely elated when Oprah walked in the room because we were not expecting her to be the mediator or the facilitator of this focus group.
We were expecting someone local. And so the whole room went completely ballistic. We were all completely frozen. And I said, this is not happening. Is this Oprah? And everyone was just completely unsettled. And then she waited until we kind of settled down. And then she kind of went into calling our names out. And we were like, how do you know our names? And she said, I was watching, and I thought, oh my God. And I was saying to myself, Kim, you can get through this. It's Oprah. So I like the fact that she was really laid back. She's a very, very nice person, and that she understood and respected our perspective, and that she gave us the opportunity to be in that venue to kind of talk about how we feel about things that was important to us.
That was exciting, wasn't it?
It was. It really was. And it was impacting as well.
Excuse me. So you can write in your autobiography, you were on Oprah's panel, but you also do so many other things. You're an activist with NAN, which is with Al Sharpton. You're an activist, you're involved whenever there's marches and protests, and there's Kim with her sign and leading the way. And also you're an actress, you're in a movie right now that's in theaters right now. Tell us about that.
Yes, God Bless the Broken Road. The director of that is Harold Cronk. It actually was released on September the 5th of this year, and it's across the nation.
What is it about?
We were all
Well, it's about a veteran being, well, it's actually about, it's a veteran movie. It's about a veteran being killed and leaving his wife as a widow with her family, and she's not able to sustain her household. And she wind up losing, her home, losing, her car, losing all of the necessary things that she needed, and her finances were in a rut. And she blamed God for being in that position and taking her husband away. And
What role do you play?
well, I was a professional background player in this particular film, and I don't know if you remember, but you should remember the Rosie Downey paper towel show. Do you remember the Rosie? Yeah.
Oh, Rosie?
Yes. Do you remember I believe it was in the 70s, because that's where we filmed it at. It was the Downey, the Bounty paper towels.
I remember it.
Do you remember that? Yes. Well, anyway, we filmed it. We filmed it at the Rosie Diner.
Okay.
Where all of those commercials actually happen, and that's where I was hired as a paid professional background and contracted with his company to come in and be a background professional for that particular movie. We did like a 4-day shot there, and then we were also contracted to do a shot that was overnight, which I had kind of like regretted that I did, because I'm a really early sleeper, and I had to be up until 8 o'clock the next morning shooting while everyone is sleeping. So I did get the opportunity to go to the car and sleep a little bit, and then between takes, because shooting is, if you know anything about movies or taping, what you do, it can take a long time to get what you want. But
how did you get involved?
So
in
I was
that?
a patron.
Okay.
At this diner, and literally had to bring like a suitcase, full of clothes for 4 days and 4 nights to continue to change through shots. So it takes a lot of time. It's quite interesting the way that movies are put together, and
you've been in several, haven't you?
yes, I've been in several movies. This one was actually, we filmed this in 2015, and it was 2016, and it was supposed to be released in 2017, and it actually got pushed back and wasn't released until 2018.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so how did you get involved in it? Do you go somewhere and audition or something?
No, actually, it was because of my work here in Grand Rapids.
Okay.
It was my work here in Grand Rapids. I was the youth director at Grand Rapids Dreams, and I was working with at-risk students in the primary school and also in high school. And I was doing a summer learning program that was actually funded by the Douglas and Marie DeVos Foundation. And we took students who were at risk, and we worked on their math and their science and their reading with them, because our goal was to get them to come up 1 grade level or 2 grade levels if we could, because they were 1 and 2 grade levels behind.
And that program was pretty successful.
And it was very successful. And what I did was added on an additional piece so that we can keep kids involved, and because the summertime kids want to get out and play.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to make it where they were really attracted to the program. So I decided filming would be the best piece that I can add to stimulate the children. And I came to the community center in Grand Rapids and hired Gretchen, who works with you guys. Gretchen?
Right.
I hired her to come in and to work with the students, to teach them how to edit, to actually do the camera work, to be the director. I hired her to do that. And the kids came up and they wrote, directed, edited a movie that showed at the Wealthy Theater. And there was a huge news coverage of that, and we brought them in limousine, and they had a red carpet premiere there at the Wealthy Theater.
That had to be so exciting.
It was very exciting. And after that, summer was over and they went back to school. There was a young man who was filming a movie called A Dog for Christmas, and I took the DVD that Gretchen had. We actually had an actual DVD, which was in its own package and cover, what they did. And I submitted it to this director and I said, these are kids that were at risk. Some of these kids went up 1 and 2 grade levels. I added an additional piece to this initiative, and it was filming. And the kids wrote. Some of the kids that was good at writing wrote. One of the young men that was rapping and was good at singing, he sung the song track. I said they did the whole movie by themselves.
Yeah.
I said, I would like for them to be a part of your movie, because you have videos in Walmart, you have, you're working on films that are going to Netflix. And he said, I will take all of the kids. And then he said, and I'll take you too. And that's how I got started.
Wow, what a blessing.
Yes.
What a blessing.
Yeah.
Now you're also a dynamic speaker, and you speak worldwide. Tell us about the topics that you speak on. I know there's so many.
Yes, it is. Diversity and inclusion. I did several pieces at the United States Department of Education, where I facilitated a few pieces there. That is a huge piece that I really enjoy doing there, because it involved parents, students, administrators, teachers, stakeholders. Everybody is invited to that. And parents get the opportunity. That's not just teacher parents, but regular parents get the opportunity to participate in that, so they can also have a voice in the learning of their children. We have a huge gap, and children are beneath the cracks in regards to their academics. And so that's been a passion of mine. And when I think about how did I even get to the United States Department of Education, and I am facilitating principals, I'm there, and I'm thinking, how did this all happen? And it's just because of my passion and my implementation of programs that I've been a part of. You guys have here at Grand Rapids Public Schools, universities, no, not university prep, but you have a university for parents that they can go to, that's a part of Grand Rapids Public Schools. And Parent University is a part of my inception, where we were taken out and for a retreat, and we had hours to sit down and to kind of implement how Parent Camp was going to kind of unfold, because we had been in the community talking to parents, facilitating meetings, doing a whole lot of work.
And meeting people where they are.
Yes,
and finding out what they need, meeting that need, and working together with them.
And listening to what they wanted.
What do they want?
And so I was a part of that inception. And so all of these things were a part of how I even got to Parent Camp. Just like, everything is interchangeable, and it's all connected. And sometimes I thought, what you do, you just do it because you like doing those things and you're passionate about it. Not so much that you want to be seen or you want to be recognized. It's because it's who I am, and that's what I do.
And it's actually your destiny.
Yes, it's like
actually
a mandate.
Your destiny. You're fulfilling your destiny, and you're a parent yourself. You have 5 adult children.
I have 5,
and some grandchildren.
And I have grandchildren.
How many grandchildren do you
I have 6 grandchildren. And yet my adult children, I have 2 that is in the Muskegon area, and then I have 1 that's in Zeeland, and then I have 2 that's in Holland. And so they got their own family,
What did they think of you being with Oprah?
Oh my gosh, they were they couldn't believe it. Well, the son that was waiting in the car all of those hours, he said, I knew it was something. He was upset that he had to wait out there. He said, Mom, I got out the car, I went to the door, and then the security or whatever it is, they had things all in, this is what he said, they had things all in their ear. He said, is that Secret Service? I said, well, it was Oprah. He said, I seen some woman get out of the van with a lot of people. He was like, I didn't know who it was. He said, but I went up there and they told him, hey, you can't come up. And he said, well, you know what? My mom is in there. And then they kind of calmed down. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So they were all excited.
Yeah, very
But they
excited.
were not surprised. They were like, you're always doing something. You're everywhere, and you done met people. They even say, well, you done met people more important than Oprah. Well, that's what they said. Well,
and
so
it's true.
And it's just like.
Tell us about anything else that you want to share, and anything else that you have coming up that you want us to know about.
Yeah, well, I do. This right here, I want to give this to you. This right here is the Michigan Coalition Against Homelessness Speakers Bureau.
Yeah.
I just had been named one of the speakers. And so I would like for you to be, also mention that on your program. Yes, just in case someone wants me to come out and speak. And then I have an agent that takes in all of those calls.
And let's see, it's the Speakers Bureau. You're going to speak on that. www.mihomelessvoice.org. And so you're speaking up, advocating for the homeless?
Yes, so I advocate for the homeless, and I speak at the local, state, and federal level. So that means that, There's times where I'm speaking with state representatives and the state legislators or nonprofit organizations or anyone who is working with homelessness or affordable housing.
What do you want people to know?
So I want people to know that, you know, homelessness is a huge problem in America. And with us living in the richest nation, you know, in the world, we can eradicate homelessness. And for me, there is a vicious cycle of, you know, programs that allow people to come in and stay for a couple months, and then they're back out on the street if they're not able to afford their home. And we need to have more consideration about not only veterans, but American people without looking at all of the titles. American people that are out on the street, and it's costing America a lot of money.
Do you look at gentrification too?
Oh, certainly. Oh, certainly. We look at it all, and gentrification is a mass problem all over the country. You know, people that are poor are pushed out of their communities, and then it's rezoned, and before you know it's rehabbed, and gentrification is taking place. And people that were living in, you know, houses that maybe had HUD, is now those are condominiums, and you know, it's just, you know, we're talking about humanity, and the violation of humans that's in America is against the human rights. And that is a huge concern that I have, that America have violated not only civil rights of people that are poor and of color, but their human rights. And that's how I look at homelessness.
Will there be any public meetings?
Well, there is always public meetings that we have. We're working on some huge stuff right now with MSU. I can't talk about all of that, but when I can, I will definitely come back.
Let us know, and we'll put that out there.
There will be some recordings and some storytelling in regards to that as well. But mainly that particular website kind of allow people to schedule me to come and speak at their facilities or their venues, speaking in regards to homelessness.
Okay. Kim R. Harris, it's been a pleasure talking to you today, and I hope that you will come back again.
I will.
And share with us your many activities. And when Oprah, we'll just speak in the positive.
Certainly.
When Oprah comes back and meets with you, we'd love to hear about it again.
Certainly,
Yes.
certainly. I would love to do that.
Yes, and so you actually touched Oprah, and she touched her hands. I have to touch your hand. The hand that touched Oprah's hand. Yes. And thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. And thank you all for watching Time to Talk. I'm Argie Holliman. We'll see you in 2 weeks.